fishing forecast for the next few days. We usually have a video of the ocean, but if you live in the Northeast Florida area, you know that Monday afternoon we had some storms come through and there was enough lightning going on that I didn't want to really go down to the beach. But we did have a live video Monday morning from Ponte Vedra, and the water was very dirty. Talked to 3 different people who were able to fish right before the rain hit. With the east-southeast winds that we had, the water actually cleaned up a little bit, not much. There were a few trout caught along the beach here, a few whiting, tons of catfish. And if you don't know it by the cover photo we're gonna have on this report, there are tons of sharks right now along the beach. I was looking at reports from Daytona and Flagler. Tons of sharks along the beach there. Flagler Pier, they're catching some kingfish, and they are wearing out the ribbon fish. And if you're a king fisherman, you know that's a heck of a bait to catch. And the kings eat them up. You're also getting a few flounder and drum from what I was told. So if you want to fish on a pier, head down to Flagler. It's a good pier to fish. They're actually going to have a meeting here soon, according to Roy, that they are going to try to extend the Flagler Pier out a little bit further. Speaking of piers, the Jack's Beach Pier, I saw that they put in a couple more pilings today. They're still saying the estimated completion date to where we will be fishing on the pier is April of 2022. So barring any setbacks, storms, or anything else, that looks to be the case. And if you know anything about the month of April and just say May in Northeast Florida, phenomenal fishing, guys. Literally everything you catch, the drum, sheephead, whiting, pompano, speckled trout, flounder, bluefish, Spanish. The kings start to show up towards the end of May as the water warms up. So if they open it up next April, it'll be a great month. I've caught a lot of big sheephead in the month of April when the pier was still open in the old, we call it the twice old Jack's Beach Pier that was on 6th Avenue South. April and May, good months. You could really just pick what you wanted to catch. If you don't know it, you can actually, a lot of people just go out and fish. And that's what I used to do, but now I try to target what I want to catch. And there's ways to do that with the different rigs and such. And that's sort of what we talk about at the seminars we hold, which we will be having another one coming up, me and Chip. It's gonna be a fun one. It won't be on the beach, but it's gonna be at a cool location. So you gotta subscribe so you know when it's gonna be being held on. It looks like it'll hopefully be early August. July has a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of tournaments going on, so we're trying not to get too much going. A lot of ICASTs this week. So just a whole lot of things going on. But let's get to the forecast. The next 3 days, the winds are pretty much on record player repeat. Southwest to west in the morning, 8 to 10, switching over to the east, then the south, southeast in the afternoon, 8 to 10. And of course, if we get afternoon thunderstorms, that wind's gonna pick up even more. Water temperatures right now from, Fernandina down to Flagler, it's pretty much 82, 83. And usually the water temperature is actually around 85 this time of year already, but it's staying fairly a couple degrees cooler. If you remember, we had a later spring this year and the water stayed cooler a little bit longer. Fishing wise, like I said, the water's been dirty, but if you head north, Amelia, Little Talbot, they did pretty well over the weekend. Whiting, speckled trout, there were pompano caught. There's still some, the pompano we're catching now, they are resident fish. They're not the ones who are migrating. The migrating pompano are up into Carolina still. So won't be long, guys. I mean, we're almost to August. So once you hit August, then you hit September, we start getting a few cold fronts and then things start to move. So we're there, we're getting there. Tons of mullet in the surf. And that's why the sharks are there. The sharks are thick right now. There's also been some pretty big bluefish being caught. I've seen a few pictures of 3 and 4 pound bluefish, Spanish mackerel. And we're still early into the mullet run. And I think a lot of it has to do with all the fresh water we just had from Tropical Storm Hurricane Elsa. All of that freshwater pushing out to St. John's, comes out to the ocean, pushing a lot of mullet out. So when we really get into the thick mullet run, it will be phenomenal. In fact, right now there's kingfish on the beach eating them. There's tarpon, there's redfish, some big speckled trout. There's flounder chasing them down the beach. It's just a matter of finding some clean water. I saw some nice catches at the Volano Rocks of speckled trout. I don't know what they're using, but I would definitely put a mullet out there on a Carolina rig. If you don't want to fish the beach and take a chance fishing the dirty water, guys, if you have any good spots in the river with any type of structure, pilings, rocks, the mangrove snapper are absolutely going crazy right now. Nice ones, 11, 12, 13, 14-inch mangroves. I went for a limited amount of time this afternoon in between the storms. I had 4 keepers between 11 and 14 inches. Should have had my 5th one, but I got broke off a few times. I'm only using 12-pound leader, real light. That way the shrimp can just do its thing. They were eating it up. I probably caught over 15 fish. A lot of them were right at 9.5 inches, 9.75 inches. That's okay. In another month, they'll probably be 10 inches. Good eating fish, guys. There's also been some nice flounder being caught. Mullet using on a Carolina rig, mud minnows, fish bites, slayer jigs with the paddle tails. Pretty much with the flounder, if you move something in front of their face, they're gonna suck it in. So that thump, if you flounder fish, you know what I'm talking about. That thump is an awesome, awesome bite. But that's all we got. Water temperatures, like I said, 82, 83. It's a good water temperature. But the tides, I've got to tell you about the tides. We're into some negative low tides now, 0.7, 0.6. So it was running much, well, it was normal up until these few days coming up. So I noticed today when I was in Ponte Vedra this Monday morning, low tide, it still had an hour and a half to go, and it was super low already. The sandbar was completely exposed. So the next few days, guys, in the mornings, as that tide's going out, it's gonna rush out because we're gonna have a southwest to west wind. So if you're going early in the morning to catch the outgoing tide, if you like to fish the last 2 hours of the outgoing tide, go a little bit earlier, because if you wait to the 2 hours, it's already going to be past where it normally is. And same thing on the incoming. It's pretty interesting. For about the first hour incoming, it doesn't look like the tide's moving, and then all of a sudden it comes in fast. And that happens in Jack's Beach, Little Talbot, Ponte Vedra. And if you fish in Ponte Vedra, you can fish on both tides, really, especially on high tide, because right now the slope is phenomenal down there. And on that slope, there are sand fleas galore, so bring your sand flea rake. And me personally, this time of year, I'm putting sand fleas on, and I'm throwing literally about 10 to 15 feet out right behind the breakers where that first slough is, because those fish are literally just sitting there waiting for sand fleas and little donacs and little crabs to get washed back to where they're sitting so they can eat them. You got to fish where the fish are. You can throw 100 yards out, but it won't matter if there's no fish there, right? That's how you got to view it. You want to fish where the fish are. It sounds simple enough, but so many people, their whole goal is, let's see how far I can throw. Well, when I go fishing, and a lot of my friends, our goal is to catch fish. That's it. And if we get skunked, we get skunked, because there are some days where the fish just won't hit. We see them, we throw everything at them, and they won't hit, and then go the next day, and all of a sudden, it's game on. That's fishing. But yeah, if y'all have any comments or questions, leave them. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, Broken Reel 23, look it up on Facebook. We're almost at 3,000 members on that group as well. And we average about 10 to 12 reports a day throughout the area. We're even getting a few reports from the Panhandle now. So if you're fishing in Northeast Florida, join it, and you'll know what's going on, what the water looks like. We try to give a water report at least once a day for those people who are working in town or whatnot, and they want to fish, but don't want to take that chance to, you don't want to get off work and drive 45 minutes only to see that the water is complete mud and only catfish and stingrays are biting. So That's why we do it, try to help you guys out. And we've even got a Pier eye perspective from Sandy. She operates one of the cranes. She helps out. Puts pictures on the Facebook page of what the water looks like. It's a great help because it doesn't get any purer than that. We know exactly what it looks like. So that's all I got, guys. I hope y'all have a great few days fishing. If you're fishing in the afternoon, keep your eyes to the skies. We don't want you to get caught in a lightning storm with a graphite rod. Usually won't end well if those two meet. So tight lines. We'll catch y'all later.